cost is always a factor when it comes to a technical evaluation. So you wanna add, that's a thing with the government end users or customers, like, hey, you want the best people there are, hey, money isn't a factor. You could tell that to the contract officer, like, hey, money's not an issue. We're willing to pay a lot of money to get this person. And a contract officer is going to say, well, no, money is always a factor. It's always an evaluating factor. You can't just remove money and cost from it and evaluate off of all these other things. Cost is always a factor when it comes to a technical evaluation, because that's a contract officer and a customer and end user are always on the same page. I very rarely was. Anyone I ever knew where they were, you want who you want. Money doesn't matter. Just you want the contract officer to just get this person for you. Just make it contract, because I don't understand any of this. I know we want this person, to train us or support us in some way. And the contract officer as well, I don't really care what you want because it doesn't work that way at all. And so then a lot of times the customer will be like, well, is there some way around this whole process? Like, is there an exception to policy that I could have my commander sign? And then the contract officer going to be like, no, because it's the law. And ultimately they're the ones with the warrant, and they're the ones whose butts are on the line for anything the customer wants. It's the contract officer who has to answer to everything. So they're not on the same page usually. They don't have the same end state or goals.